In our headlines this evening, H trip to provide sponsorship for community endeavors and youth invited to participate in Vibes and Spoken Word Challenge. The details are straight ahead. Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Thursday, April 23rd, 2015. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. The corporate leadership of H Trip and the Caribbean Development Consultants Limited, CDCL, has promised not only to provide economic support to the island's economy, but also pledged to provide sponsorship for community endeavors.
For H Trip culture, sport is very important for us. As you can see, actually in the past 2 weeks, we climbed the Liamuga. We hiked to the peak heaven of the Nevis. We're snorkeling here, and our company culture is sport. Everybody's sport. Actually, we have do some in last year. We have been the sponsor and donation to some local activities. Especially the sport, your drag racing, your Kacharama. We have been one of the sponsors. So in the future, we will do more about for the local sport and the culture.
The 5 officials from the H Trip organization facilitated a press conference earlier today where they fielded a variety of questions from members of the local media.
Mr. Lee is H Trip and Caribbean Development Consultant Limited. He's the director. I'm the assistant general manager of the company, and David will be the project manager for the High Trip Candy Resort. Terela will be running our office in St. Kitts and Nevis. He's the office manager, and Fiona will take charge of the service for the client.
Speaking through his interpreter, the first director of CDCL said the primary market for their development is in China and Hong Kong, and he explained how significant this market is.
The Chinese is richer and richer, so they would like to go to the overseas to have a vacation, to have a travel, and study. Actually, now the Chinese over the world, especially in Europe and American. So if you didn't know here is a paradise for the vacation, it's easy for them to come here. It's only from Europe to Caribbean and American to Caribbean. Actually, for Caribbean region, it's hotter and hotter for the travel in Asia. Even it's far away, but the beautiful island and many activities you can do, and many the friendly people.
On Friday, April 17th, the H Trip organization broke ground in Liebert Hill in the St. James's Parish on their first proposed development called the Candy Resort. The resort would comprise townhouses and is expected to be completed by December 2016. The Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, invites St. Kitts and Nevis youth ages 16 to 35 to register for the 2015 Vibes in Spoken Word Challenge. The deadline for the competition has been extended, and the young people are being urged to take advantage of the opportunity to express themselves through poetry. The contest is being coordinated by the Department of Youth Empowerment on St. Kitts and the Department of Youth and Sports on Nevis.
All you have to do is create a piece, an original spoken word poetry on the issue of the creative industry and its potential for growth. You could look at the information on our Facebook page, the Department of Youth Empowerment St. Kitts, and the page for Nevis Department of Youth and Sports on Facebook as well, or contact Ms. Claxton and the other officers in the Department of Youth in Nevis, and they should inform you and direct you how you could register. We welcome everyone interested to be a part of this. It's a very important opportunity to develop your skills, express yourselves, and to earn a little bit of change. Deadline is May 1st, and the preliminaries are on May 6th, and the finals May 8th. Both are in St. Kitts at Sweet Lime from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we look forward to seeing some participants, some finalists, and even some winners coming out of Nevis.
For the age 16 to 29 category, the prizes are $1,000 for first place, $500 for second, and $250 for third. For the age 30 to 35 category, the winning prize is $1,000.
We are quite aware that there are some persons who may be exceptional writers but may have some fears when it comes to presenting, or vice versa. And so provisions have been made for those persons. If you're an exceptional writer and you would like to elect someone to present the poem for you, of course there's only one winning prize or one prize money, so we will not give one to the presenter and one to the writer. It will be at the discretion of the writer as to how that prize money will be distributed.
Claxton also explained how entries may be submitted.
The written piece has to be submitted via the forms, and as Pierre said, they're available on the Department of Youth and Sports Facebook page or the Department of Youth Empowerment St. Kitts Facebook page. You use that form, you submit your written piece by May 1st at 11:59 p.m. The persons in charge will look through, peruse the material. They will select the ones that will move on to the semifinals on May 6th, and then follow. In the May 6th semifinals, of course, has to be done in person. Once you have made it past the semifinals, you will have to return to St. Kitts for the finals on May 8th. To do it orally again.
The public will be able to select the winners of CDB's Vibes in Spoken Word Challenge via social media voting. The Inland Revenue Department in Nevis is inviting the general public to visit its information center at the War Memorial in Charlestown tomorrow, Friday, April 24th, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. The department is seeking to educate the public on the new value-added tax VAT exempted items. Persons will get a chance to have their concerns addressed and can collect a copy of the department's Educate Yourself brochure, which outlines the items which comprise the family shopping list, in addition to the new VAT removal list and the list of funeral services which are now exempted from VAT, as outlined in the Value-Added Tax Amendment Regulations 2015. Information on other taxes will also be provided. The Inland Revenue Department is soliciting the public's cooperation as it seeks to build a better nation through responsible tax administration. Coming up after the break, National Bank has a new board of directors. Our Youth in the News guest presenter Cleticia Daniel will have the details after this break.
Here now is a notice from the Nevis Electricity Company Limited, NEVLEC. NEVLEC wishes to inform the general public of its disconnection schedule for the month of April 2015.
St. Thomas's Parish, April 15th.
St. Paul's Parish, April 22nd.
St. John's Parish, April 27th.
St. George's Parish, April 28th.
St. James Parish, April 29th. Please settle all arrears in full on or before the dates specified to avoid disconnection of service. Please take note that a $100 reconnection fee will be charged. Reconnection of service will be done within 24 hours of payment.
Welcome back to the local news segment. I am Cleticia Daniel. The new board of directors of the St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank Limited reflects diversity and competence, with what is already being heralded as an excellent mix of astute young professionals and seasoned business people. At the bank's extraordinary general meeting held on Tuesday, April 21st at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort, the only item on the agenda was the election of a new board of directors. The new board of directors are Howard McEachran, Arnaldo Bailey, Theodore Hobson QC, Dr. Cardell Rollins, Wallace Wilkin, Lionel Benjamin, Taliba Byron, and Elretha Simpson Brown. The new board held its first meeting immediately following the election in order to elect the leadership of the board. Howard McEachran was elected as chairman. Arnaldo Bailey was elected as first vice chair, and Alexis Nisbet was elected as second vice chair. Meantime, the board also dealt with the installation of new directors for the National Bank Trust Company, in which the bank is the sole shareholder. The National Bank Trust Company's board of directors now comprises Chairperson Vernon Harris, Vice Chairperson Cindy Deming, and Secretary Dr. Patricia Bartlett. Other members of that board include O'Grenville Brown, Shirley Julius, and Grace Lewis. The National Bank Trust Company is the founder of the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation, SIDF. The founder has replaced the remaining members of the SIDF who did not resign as per the new government's request. A new secretary of the SIDF has been appointed, and within a week, the full board of councillors of the SIDF will be appointed. And finally, the Nevis Public Library Service today, April 23rd, joined the celebration of World Book and Copyright Day. The day is an observance designated by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO.
We are encouraged to recognize the power of books to change our lives for the better and to support books and those who produce them. Might I add that we need to both double and redouble our efforts to promote the book in order to fight illiteracy and poverty, and it should be a collaborative work.
Along with several others, the Nevis Public Library Service today featured the work of Deborah Lelouch, author of Matilda of Montravers, the newest book on Nevis.
My book concentrates on the Penny family.
Okay.
They were the Azariah Penny was the first one to come, and they established a sugar plantation. This is it goes from the late 1600s to the mid 1700s. I have explored the life at that time through the eyes of a young girl who I sort of step into her person, and imagine, what she would be doing and how she was an observer of life, very astute observer, but yet she was, unobtrusive and so forth, and she was very cute and, and curious and all that. So she found out a lot of things without, ruffling anyone's feelings.
Matilda of Montravers was written with an audience of aged 13 to 18 in mind and lends itself to teacher-student or parent-child dialogue. Lelouch, a tourism education officer, explained what inspired her to write the book.
My secret agenda is to interest young people in archaeology.
Okay.
And we would like to get the schools to participate more and so forth, because on Nevis alone there are over 150 plantations, estates, which are now sort of hidden in the bush.
That's right.
And there's an attitude change that needs to be brought about as well, because there's a certain reticence to talk about that period, but yet we have such a rich history to exploit, and people from all over the world would want to know about it. It would, really give us a niche a market, people coming to learn about. And the charm of Nevis too is our plantation hotels. So there are many ways that we can go back and bring that history to the forefront now.
Lelouch says the anecdote and vignettes of life at Montravers will also provide standalone enjoyment for the younger reader. The interview will be aired in its entirety as part of this evening's NTV programming.